Hey everyone, it's Jeff Freen with Pocketnow.com, and it's time to give you our last thoughts or our final review on the Motorola Flipside. Now before we get started, you can find the full review article on Pocketnow.com, and also you can find our first 4 videos that came before this. Right up here we have the unboxing, we have the hardware overview, we have the software overview, and we have our speed testing comparison. So, let's get started. Leading off our overview of the Motorola Flipside are going to be some of the pros of this device, or what we like about the phone and what it has going for it. And the first up is actually going to be the screen resolution. Now, it's not a Super AMOLED or an AMOLED type of screen, for that matter. However, it is an HVGA, which Motorola bills as being a high-resolution VGA. It sports a resolution of 320 by 480. The colors are very vibrant. Once again, they are not the quality of a Super AMOLED or an AMOLED, but they do stick out fairly well, as you can maybe see here, but if you do go back to our previous videos, you can see it as well. The next pro on our list is actually the full physical QWERTY keyboard. It is a slide-out QWERTY keyboard, and the quality of this keyboard is almost unmatched. We had no problems at all typing on this keyboard. We found it very easy to use, very comfortable, and very efficient overall. Now, as we talked about in our software overview video, this device features MotoBlur for its UI skin. Social networking is the main focus of MotoBlur. It will bring your Facebook feeds, your Twitter feeds, as well as many other RSS feeds as far as news, weather, sports-related information, whatever it may be, onto the main screen in the form of widgets and other applications. If you're someone who's into social networking, you will love this aspect, and it will bring all of it right to your fingertips. You'll be able to see your friends' status updates, their new pictures, right when you unlock your phone. Next up, we also like the fact that this device comes preloaded with Android 2.1. While it may not be Android 2.2 Froyo, especially with Gingerbread, which is expected to be Android 2.3 coming very soon, it is also not too far behind the 8-ball with only Android 1.6 preloaded. We unfortunately don't think it will make the cut for making the Froyo update in the near future, and that's likely due to the processor speed. But with that being said, we are still somewhat happy with Android 2.1. Lastly, we love the amount of RAM on this device. It has 512 megabytes of RAM, which allowed the user to multitask through many applications without an issue at all, and that's apparent in most cases. Now, rounding off the end of our overview are going to be some of the cons of the Motorola Flipside, or what we feel needs work or may be out of place. And the first one's actually going to be this optical trackpad. We feel it's been forced. It is very useful. However, it isn't necessarily needed. Some devices would use the optical trackball, and in most of those devices' cases, the users actually still use the screen to navigate through. Well, in this case, you have a 3.1-inch screen, so it's a relatively smaller screen. We feel they could have actually extended this down further if they had eliminated that trackpad. The overall battery life on this device is very unpredictable. Some days we're able to make it through our entire day without hassle. Other tries, we only made it through our first few hours of the day. This translates into needing to carry around a car charger or a secondary home charger just in case, wherever you may be. In reality, that leaves you very unconfident in your device. Next up are the inconsistent speeds that we experienced. While we mentioned it does have a very good amount of RAM, the 512 megabytes of RAM, it does have a somewhat slower processor, being only 720 megahertz. A year ago, this was actually a very fast processor. However, now with the current generation of Android devices, this is on the lower end. This causes websites to take longer to load, videos longer to process, and the overall experience to be inconsistent. If you aren't a power user per se, you may not notice it. And in that case, it will still suit you very well. And lastly, we had some reception issues. Now, most people say that you cannot use the actual bar system as a 100% accurate way to measure your reception signal quality, strength, whatever it may be. Holding the Flipside directly next to another Android device, we were seeing 1 or 2 bars on the Flipside, whereas 5 full bars on the other Android device. Now, to test that theory, we also tried making phone calls on both devices, and we found the quality on the Flipside to be much lower. Also, it did drop some calls on us. This happened primarily indoors, so your mileage may vary and you may not have an issue whatsoever. Taking all those thoughts into mind, we decided to give this device a 3 out of 5. And that is because of the price range, or the price tag. It's actually $99 with a 2-year contract on AT&T. So the spec you get actually fits the price very well. And once again, this device doesn't seem to be geared toward power users. It seems to be geared toward mid-range to lower end, especially if you are a newer Android user. This device may give you a very good experience. And that has been our final review on the Motorola Flipside. Be sure to check out Pocketnow.com for the full review article, which will feature all of our past videos on this device, as well as a written review. As always, thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you soon.